This is a quick tour of my downstairs media archiving facility. On this side of the room is the audio transfer station. In the rack on the left side are a cassette deck, a CD recorder, an audio mixer, and then on the cart to its right are a Sony TC353 open reel machine, which is an early 1970s vintage deck. It's the same model machine I used to record a lot of audio off the air from Boston TV stations in the 1970s using a small Sony black and white TV. Then above is an Otari 5050 open reel deck, which is a workhorse of the radio industry in the 1980s. This is a 4-channel machine. However, I have put in a half-track head stack to get better results when transferring half-track and full-track tapes. I still have the quarter-track head stack to put back in when I want to transfer quarter-track tapes. The tape that's currently loaded on the machine is a reel of WNEV-TV news music that dates to about 1985, I think. And like certain tapes in the collection, it has what is known as a stiction problem, which means that the lubricant on the tape has broken down, which causes friction when the tape passes through the guides and across the heads. Certain tape formulations are notorious for having that problem as the years go by. This is one particular formulation, Scotch 3M226. That particular type of tape does have a tendency to break down and cause playback problems. There are certain techniques one can use to try to get a successful playback from problematic tapes. One method is to bake the tape in a convection oven at a certain temperature and for a certain period of time. That will provide one successful playback usually. Another method is to burnish the surface of the tape, which is what I have been doing with this particular reel, just by running it back and forth across the head stack. And in the process, loose oxide comes off, and I'll find lots of oxide shedding all through in here. And then it's necessary to clean the heads quite a bit because of the shedding oxide. So we have a Q-tip for that purpose, a whole bunch of Q-tips actually. Only get one use per Q-tip, and then it's pretty dark with goo. And then we have various head cleaning solvents to use. So this is a work in progress. And over here is the transcoder that converts the analog signal to digital, which then travels over a USB cable to this MacBook Pro. I have to log in here to show you something. Okay, so I'm using a program called Audio Hijack Pro to record the digital signal, and there we go, you can see it better now. And I'm recording 16-bit 48 kilohertz AIFF files. But that's only the first step. Then I have to bring that audio into a program. In this case, I'm using Soundtrack Pro to remove the noise from the recording, adjust the equalization, because otherwise the native audio can be pretty rough. So that's a basic overview of how I'm transferring audio. And then on the other side of the room is an Ampex VPR3, a 1-inch Type-C machine that I've been using to archive a lot of 1-inch reels. It's currently powered off, but I'll turn it on momentarily to give you a brief tour. It's a power strip behind the machine that turns on some of the apparatus. And then we have to turn on the electronics unit, which is down below. Right in here somewhere. There it is. And below the machine is the Ampex Zeus time-based corrector. This switch powers on the transport. And then we'll check that we have proper signal flow by routing some SMPTE color bars E to E through the machine. And let's bring up the heads, shall we? Behind the machine is an analog to digital converter. Let's see if we can get a view of it. Somewhere here. Okay. That device right there, it's a Blackmagic analog to SDI converter. I'm taking analog video and audio out of the 1-inch machine, converting it to an SDI signal, and then that runs over to my Mac Pro, and then I make digital files from the playbacks. I'm getting a DV cam deck, a used machine, to put on top of the VPR to directly make DV cam dubs from the 1-inch tapes. As you can see, I have a lot of work to go. These are various 1-inch tapes in the archives that have yet to be dubbed. So I still have a lot of work ahead of me. They're all numbered, they're all in a database, and the next step is to make the digital files and the DV cam dubs. So this concludes our brief tour of our media archiving facilities.